Welcome to gearvlogz, the update show special edition. With recent issues in the automotive industry with the UAW strike with GM, that's what this episode's all about. Discussing the stories, what's been published, and how it can affect businesses and consumers alike right now in the US because of the strike. So let's get into the news. Hey, if you're not subscribed to this channel, please consider subscribing. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button. And if you could do me a really big favor, share this video out so we can get noticed because the algorithm is not really helping us out. So let's get into it. First up we have here is from Automotive News. All links to my sources will be in the video descriptions, so you can check those out, articles, if you want to read them. But the first one up is economic pain grows with the UAW-GM strike. Essentially what the UAW is striking over is what they consider new hire employees, or what they call in progression is what they call it. They start off at, I think, the base or entry level salary that they make is about $17 an hour, while more legacy or senior employees can be making as much as $28 or plus or more an hour. But the problem is with the in legacy employees, meaning the newbies, it could take them almost 8 years before they can reach a level of close to $28. So trying to, and a lot of these people are single parents, like single moms, whatnot, and so this is what the strike is kind of about. So let's get into the article. Let's go. This week, General Motors UAW workers received their first strike paycheck of $250. This pay is less than half of a new hire's weekly wages of about $680, or roughly a quarter of a tenured worker's more than $1,000 per week. It comes out of the UAW's more than $700 million strike fund. Nearly 3 weeks on the picket line at low pay and frustration over GM temporary health insurance halts could make workers more critical of potential tentative agreements. Still, multiple presidents at the UAW locals say morale is high. And they're quoting as saying, "It's not easy living on $250 a week, but they still believe in what they're doing," said Ralph Morris, president of UAW Local 163 Rumbless Power Train near Detroit. "It's early now, but some at the low pay and not making a living wage, but we have donations of food and other household items," Morris said. On Thursday marks the 18th day of the UAW strike against GM. More than 46,000 hourly workers at GM plants have been on strike since September 16th, after the automaker and the UAW failed to reach a new labor agreement before their previous contract expired. Thousands of other GM workers have been idle in Canada and Mexico, along with thousands more GM suppliers. So that brings it up. Basically, as far as like suppliers go, here's like one particular supplier story. Linamar in Canada, they're estimating that they're losing about $750,000 per day due to the strike. This particular Linamar company, Linamar, if I'm pronouncing it right, is an OEM supplier. What exactly they supply GM is unknown, but they're generally, let's pull up what they have here, providing precision metallic components and systems for light vehicles and powertrains, ranging from engine cylinder blocks, cylinder heads, connecting rods, cam shafts, fuel rails, balance shaft modules, transmissions, like differential assemblies, clutch modules, shaft shells assemblies, carriers and housings, and so on. So, if whatnot. So it goes back into, based on this strike here going on, they're not getting the orders that they need to produce parts, and how this is affecting us, the consumers, are, like, say, if you have your vehicle in at a dealership, it's under warranty, and there's a specific part that they need that is not already at one of their or GM's parts distribution warehouses that a dealership can just call up and order up, and they have to wait for the factory to get it directly from the factory, they're at a standstill. So you got cars that are piling up in the back lots of car dealership service centers waiting to be worked on, but because of the fact that they can't get the parts for it. So it leaves two alternatives: either, obviously under warranty issue, they wait, or have to find third-party vendor sources that may have parts. But then it brings up the question of how will GM honor those, third-party unauthorized parts being installed. Comment below, what would you do or consider? Do you agree with the strike, or you could care less? Let's hear your thoughts on that. Okay, going on further onto the next aspect. There's another aspect here. UAW insiders are talking to feds as talks with GM's drags on, part of an FBI ongoing investigation of embezzlement by UAW leaderships. So we have that aspect here. Let's get into that article. With the UAW strike against General Motors now in its 19th day without an agreement, Detroit News reports that two former top officials at the union are helping federal prosecutors build a criminal embezzlement case against UAW President Gary Jones. The news comes after UAW leadership rejected GM's latest proposal on Tuesday, and as negotiations endure emotional and intellectually grueling talks that start early in the morning and go late into the night, the Detroit Free Press reported. The news cites federal court records and unnamed sources familiar with the ongoing corruption investigation into the allegations of misuse of more than $1 million in UAW funds on personal luxuries, much of it spent at a Palm Springs, California golf resort where the union held annual conferences from 2014 to 2016. It says investigators are meeting with former UAW deputy Danny Troll and retired UAW Secretary Treasurer Gary Castile. Troll was Jones's deputy and oversaw 17 states from a regional office in Missouri before retiring in 2015. Federal authorities have accused him of using members' dues to pay for golf tee times, meals, and shopping, and of trying to conceal the expenses. He also served on the board of a 5-game changer charity fund. Jones' nonprofit is also under investigation. Yeesh. Castile, whose authorities referred to as a cooperating witness, told investigators he did not know that the union money was being spent on personal luxuries in Palm Springs, allegedly including more than 100 rounds of golf, more than $100,000 worth of golf equipment, and $185 bottles of Crown Royal whiskey. He told investigators that all UAW expenses had to be approved and deemed to benefit the union's membership, and said the Coronado Resort expenditures were outside what he would approve according to the affidavit. So it's like take it with a grain of salt. There's good and bad with unions, in my personal opinion, and this is just one more reason to question whether to even have unions. I can go either ways. I came from a union family, and I've seen the goods and the bads, and I'll just leave it at that. Or I have my own personal reservations about unions and how it has affected my family. We'll go there on that one. So let's go on to the next story. Let's pull that one up. New York comptroller investor urges GM to resolve strike. Let's see what New York is asking. The New York State Comptroller Thomas Napoli, hopefully I said that right, weighed in this week on the ongoing labor dispute between the UAW and General Motors. Crane's new business, an affiliate of the Automotive News, obtained an October 1st letter that Napoli sent to GM CEO Mary Barra, voicing concerns about the strike, which began 18 days ago, and how it might impact the New York pension fund's 3.8 million GM shares before the company and the union have signed significant advancements in the ongoing negotiations over a new contract in which GM has offered raises, payouts to its employees in exchange for the ability to employ workers on a temporary basis for years at a time. At no point in his letter does Napoli threaten to divest the retirement system from GM. As an investor, I'm concerned about the reports estimating the company lost earnings between 50 to 100 million per day during the strike, he wrote, noting that a 2-month-long labor battle in 1998 cost the company $2 billion. It is conceivable this strike could similarly cause significant loss unless its resolution is quickly reached. The comptroller whose past campaigns have received the UAW support, also noted that the union counts a number of New Yorkers among its members and that the strike has idled facilities in portions of the state. He urged the company to consider maintaining and enlarging its operation on U.S. soil. And speaking of which, let's pull up what the current GM stock is doing right now. Okay. Currently, for the month, right now it's currently on Friday. It's starting at after hours. It closed, that looks like at $34.91 as of this recording today on Friday. When the strike started, they were at approximately $37.21 a share, and right now they're at 34 cents, so not much of a drop as you would think is expecting. So you have investors that are still, hedging their bets, I believe. So comment down below, what do you think? Do you own stock in GM, or does like your part of your 401k have shares in it? Are you concerned that how long the strike will go will affect your 401k or your investment portfolio? And how long do you think that the strike will go on for? Do you think it's unreasonable for the workers based on some of their demands on what they want? meaning higher wages, better care, daycare, and such, is too outrageous for the GM workers or the union workers to hit up on GM, considering that GM is from going from bankruptcy on government bailout and paying back the loans already, and being a leaner, meaner corporation. Let's hear your thoughts down below. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button, comment down below. Please definitely comment down below, and share this video out.